Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create assets in preparation for making a post on GreenPlug. Okay, so we'll start. I'm going to go to my hard drive and I've created a folder for this article. Here's the folder, Chasing Ice Demo Article Assets. This article is about the documentary movie called Chasing Ice, so therefore the name. And in this folder, you'll see several assets that I've created. The first one is the actual copy that's going to be used in the article. And you'll notice this is a .txt file. That is a plain text file, and it has no formatting or very, very limited formatting in that file. So let me open that up. Okay, so here it is. So you can see I have created the article title, some body copy here. You can see a couple of subheadings here, and some additional body copy. Now, the reason we create plain text files is because when you're getting ready to create a post, you don't want to copy and paste from Microsoft Word or any sort of word processing program like that. If you do that and paste that into an HTML format, which any sort of website is based on HTML, then you will bring in all sorts of additional formatting code which is not supported by HTML, and it will give you a real headache in terms of trying to format your article so that it looks nice. So it's a very good habit to always get into to create your copy in some sort of plain text editor. I'm using a Mac, and so the program here is called TextEdit. If you're using a PC, there's a program called Notepad, I'm sure you're familiar with, which you can use, and there may be others. So always create your original copy in a plain text editor. Save it on your hard drive. That way you always have a backup of the article that you've created in case there's any problem with the GreenPlug site, or sites get hacked and things like that happen. Next thing we're going to talk about is the images, and there are two classes of images that we want to talk about that you'll need for your article if you have images in your article. And first is the main image. So you'll see I've got a file here called raw. I use the word raw as I'm naming the files because it just tells me that I haven't processed that image to the right size and resolution yet. So if I click on that one, so you can see here's the image. Let me make that a little bigger where you can see it. There we go. So this is, as you can see, all of the awards and nominations for this documentary movie that we're writing the little article about. But there's a little bit of a problem, and you can see that the image is 714 pixels wide, and that is too wide for the GreenPlug site. We have allocated a certain width for images, and that space is about 625 pixels. So you want to process this image down to about 625 pixels. I use Photoshop. There are other programs that you can use for doing that. But when you're finished, you should have a file which looks like this one. And you see I've named it 625, so I can know that this image is 625 pixels wide. And if you click on the image and go down and check out the information for it, you can see that it is 625 pixels wide. So that tells me that image has been processed correctly. The next thing you want to do is you want to create a thumbnail. Now first let's go to the site so I can show you why we want to create that thumbnail and what it looks like. Okay, I've got it bookmarked here. GreenPlug, we'll let that load. Okay, scroll down a bit to some of the articles. Here we go. This is the thumbnail image for the articles, and this image is 185 pixels by 185 pixels, so width and height. So now go back to my assets folder, and you'll see I've got a file here with the word thumb in it. This is the raw image that I'm going to use for creating the thumbnail. You'll notice that it's quite large. It's 1424 pixels by 795. I need 185 by 185, so I'm going to use Photoshop. Again, you can use other programs for processing these images. And when you finish, the image should be like this one. I've named it 185 and thumb, so I know that's my thumbnail. And you can see this image is now 185 by 185. Okay, so that's how you process the images for in preparation for making a post on GreenPlug.